Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Alex and I'm a professional wedding photographer. So today I'm going to talk to you about three cards. I'm going to do a comparing test, a buffer test between three cards that are very commonly used among the industry. I'm using, as everyone knows, a Sony a7 Mark III as the main camera for my wedding photography. A camera which has two SD slots inside. One is UHS 1 and one is UHS 2. I didn't invest in UHS 2 cards because I don't really care about that kind of speed. Having one slot with UHS 1 doesn't help me a lot because I'm shooting RAW, uncompressed on both cards for redundancy, to have my clients' memories in a safe place without any concern. So that's why I'm using UHS 1 cards, which has a similar speed, writing speed and read speed. But lately some new cards have been released and they are SanDisk Extreme Pro with 170 megabytes per second the read speed, but the writing speed is almost similar with the previous 95 read speed, which is up to 90 megabytes per second. But I'm going to compare it also with the new Kingston Canvas React, which says 100 megabytes per second in read speed and writing speed about 80 megabytes per second. What I'm very interested about this test is, during a wedding I'm shooting a lot of burst fire, and using the burst I'm very interested that the camera writes the files quickly, and I'm ready to use it in the next second and the next second and so on. So I'm very interested in seeing how the camera is acting while shooting burst mode and on these cards. But I'm going also to compare it with my old cards that are the Extreme Pro 64 gigabytes, which is 95 megabytes per second the read speed and around 90 megabytes per second write speed. So these are the cards that I'm going to compare today to you, and I'm going to show you how the buffer on the Sony a7 III is doing the job, and see which of these cards are the fastest and the most recommended cards for your Sony a7 III camera. So let's begin the test. Okay, here we go. So the first on our list will be the SanDisk Extreme Pro 170 megabytes per second the read speed, and I'm going to use the burst high plus mode to shoot, and let's test it out to see how many frames we are going to be able to take using the buffer until the buffer will actually get tired. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. And this was it. As we can see, the writing speed is not that high. It's working a bit, but it's okay, it's decent. The second on our list this time will be the Kingston Canvas React, which has 100 megabytes per second the read speed and about 80 megabytes per second the writing speed. So let's test it out. 3, 2, 1, go. At the first view would be the same amount of frames, but we are going to put a stopwatch and test it out and see how many frames and how much time it got to enter the buffer. And as we see, the writing speed is just about the same. And the third on our list would be the SanDisk Extreme Pro, up to 95 megabytes per second read speed and 90 megabytes per second write speed. So it's pretty much similar to the writing speed of the Extreme Pro 170 megabytes per second read speed. So let's see. Okay, the camera went into standby. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, about the same amount of frames, about the same amount of time. The writing speed on the card seems to be a bit slower than the other two, but it catches up. So let's get back and see how it actually performed. Okay, so here we are. Analyzing the results, all cards seems to be pretty much similar on the Sony a7 Mark III, and they are performing pretty much the same. All of them recorded 34 frames until the buffer jumped in, and all of them in 4 seconds, so 4 seconds until the buffer jumped in. But analyzing the speed of writing on the card from the moment the buffer jumped in until the end of the last frame being recorded. So the SanDisk Extreme Pro, both of them recorded all the 34 frames in 22 seconds, while the Canvas React from Kingston successfully recorded all the frames in 24 seconds, so it's 2 seconds slower than the other two. In my opinion, that's pretty much similar, because 2 seconds, it's not a difference that you can notice while shooting at an event or a wedding or anything like that. So I am, to be honest, really impressed about the performance on all of them. But the difference between them, it's pretty obvious. First is the price difference. And the SanDisk Extreme Pro 170 megabytes per second cost about $50 on B&H, while the Canvas React cost about $30 on B&H. And I'm talking about the 128 gigabytes cards, and that is a pretty impressive difference. $20 for pretty much the same performance. That's quite something. But let's not forget the SanDisk Extreme Pro 170 megabytes per second reading speed. That is very important. At least for me, that is a game changer, because that's very important while I'm downloading all the pictures from an event in my NAS drive in half of the time that I would take on a Canvas React or on the different model from the SanDisk, the older model with the 95 megabytes per second. So the SanDisk Extreme Pro 95 megabytes per second costed about $50 on B&H at the time when it was produced, but now you can find it on different resellers at pretty much the same price as the Canvas React, about $30 to $35. So in my opinion, depending on what you need, this is the results, and they perform pretty much similar, but the only difference is the price and the writing speed, the reading speed actually on the computer. So this was it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed my video review regarding the cards that I'm using on a Sony a7 Mark III on my wedding job. I hope you enjoyed the review, and this hopefully helped you to make a choice regarding the cards to use. And if you enjoyed the video that I did and you want me to make more videos, please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Thank you.